The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good afternoon, morning, evening. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 21st day of August 2025. And kind of unofficially the start of year number 8 on this channel. That's hard to believe. Anyway, we do the games of the 21st of September, I think, 1956. There are 9 days left to go in this season. And as you know, if you've watched recently, the National League was decided back in May. The American League, as we hit the penultimate, that's the big word of the day, penultimate weekend of the season, we are pretty much down to 3 teams in that race for the one playoff spot, the pennant winner. Chicago and Cleveland kind of fell off the wayside this week. They are still technically in it. They're 6 back, and there's really more than 6 games to play. But they would now need a lot of help, as in the Yankees, Red Sox, and Tigers pretty much all need to go 500, and Chicago and Cleveland need to catch fire. They might get that from two of these teams, because over the next 2 weekends, the Yankees and Red Sox play 6 times. This weekend at Fenway and next weekend down in New York. And so pretty much the American League pennant will be decided over those games. And so, not sure if we'll go daily at this point or not, but at least for now, it's the Yankees and the surprising Boston Red Sox on a Friday at night in Boston. The Red Sox keep winning, their chances continue to go up. The Yankees, when all is said and done, I think that they actually pull this off. But their bullpen is quite suspect. They are only going to go as far as Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra, and Mickey Mantle can carry them. Will that be enough? We're about to find out. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956 today from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. It is the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find Dave and Vinny on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. P-Jet, how are you? Andy and Paul. Yep, the 7-year itch. I survived that 20 years ago, Paul. When you're married to someone by the name of Hot Sarah, make them earn it, Ted. There you go. So the Yankees come into this one at 84-61. This is game 146, so they have up to 8 left. The Red Sox, this is game 147. They kind of have 7 left. So none of these teams are going to have a hard time getting to 90 wins, let alone anything above that. The big surprise this year in the replay is Frank Sullivan, who is a 20-game winner. In fact, he leads the American League with 21 wins. 21-5, he will make 2 or 3 starts, including this, over the last week and change of the season. 21-5, a 3.89 ERA. Frank is 26, and if the Red Sox win the American League, would be an absolute legend at Fenway. Here's a guy that is having the season of his life, and I don't think anyone outside of those who were kids remember from the late 50s, remember who he is. He throws a fastball at 85 and a ground ball pitcher. Against the Yankees, he's made 3 prior starts, and he does have a 2-1 record against him, but the Yankees have hit him hard, an earned run average of 548. 23 innings, 29 hits, 15 runs, 14 earned, walking 8 and striking out 4 in the process. His last time out was against the Tigers in a football game on the 16th, so 5 days ago, as this is the games of the 21st. 17-12. Didn't even get a decision. You give up 7 runs and don't take a decision, 5 innings, 77 pitches. He got a Christmas tree, 7 runs all earned. In fact, his last 3 starts have not been good, despite the 2 wins. He gave up a home run and struck out 3. His last quality start would have been September 1st against the Orioles, just 2 earned runs over 9 innings. 238 and a third for Frank, 262 hits, 128 runs, 103 of them earned, 26 homers. He's walked 77 and struck out 113. The lineup he will face today, it'll be Gil McDougall leading off at short. Enos Slaughter in right will bat second. Yeah, Sullivan is due, isn't he? And Mickey Mantle cleans up in center. Yogi Berra is in left today. He will clean up. Mantle batting third in center. Yogi cleaning up in left. Elston Howard gets the call behind the plate, batting fifth. Bill Scowen at first goes sixth. Billy Martin at second, batting seventh. Andy Carey at third goes eighth, and Bob Turley on the mound batting ninth. Sully can get you a full 9 innings. So pretty much their World Series roster, they aren't taking this one off. Defensively for Boston, Ted Williams a 4 and a 4 in left. Jimmy Pearsall a 9 and an 8 in center. Jackie Jensen a 7 and a 7 in right. Milt Bowling a 3 at third. Billy Klaus a 4 at short. Ted Lepsio a 5 and an 8 at second. And Mickey Vernon a 7 at first. Sammy White an 8 and a 7 behind the plate. And Sully is an 8 on the mound with a .981 fielding percentage. So Red Sox, not their everyday infield. Their outfield is pretty much the same. Weather on this Friday night in Boston, 75 degrees. Winds blowing in off of the Atlantic, in from right at 11 miles an hour. McDougall at 295, 5 homers and 45 RBI. Sully deals, strike him out to start the ball game. So here's Slaughter, a 9-game hitting streak, hitting .339, no homers and 8 RBIs. This is a sim. It's a sim of a real game. But it's not the real game, if that makes any sense. Sullivan deals. That is a base hit right center. So all the way to the wall. So Slaughter put that one in the triangle. Now has a 10-game hitting streak at 40 years old and is on second with 1 out for Mickey Mantle, who is hitting .341 in his Triple Crown year. It looks like he's about done for the season. And I think the Yankees had it wrapped up at this point. He's hit 50 home runs, which is still, I think, about 8 off the record on the channel. 132 RBI. I looked this up the other day. You want to give a guess over the 7 years who, I believe, has the record for most home runs in a season? It is not Barry Bonds. Pitch to Mantle. There is a ground ball between Lepsio and Vernon in the right field. In fact, that's going to get down all the way in the corner. Jensen's going to have to go get it. Slaughter's going to score with ease. Mantle hustles his way into third, standing for his 6th triple. He's driven in 133, and the Yankees go up 1-0. Mantle starts today and tomorrow, and then misses 5 of the last 6. They win the day, it'll be hard-pressed for anybody to catch them. The thing is, Paul, that because it was over by pretty much now, everyone's doing that. So there isn't necessarily a disadvantage for those who go to their bench because you know the Yankees are about to do the same. Yogi Berra at 304, 28 homers and 110 RBI. With 6 games or so to go for the Yankees, they have a 1.5 game lead coming in. They win today, they win tomorrow, provided that the Tigers don't win the one in the hit over the next 2 days. It's over. The funny thing is, the National League, they'll play right down to it because in real life it was a nail-biter. Pitch to Yogi. There is a ground ball to Lepsio. They'll take the shore out at first, and Yogi's retired 2 out. 2-0 New York. Elston Howard at 272, 3 homers and 43 RBI. So hopefully that answers your questions. Howard, high ground ball to second, over to Vernon, and that will take care of the Yankees in the first. But they put up 2 runs on 2 hits. And no errors. The Yankees trying to repeat as American League champions, too. The Cinderella Red Sox coming up. If there is a silver lining for Boston, is that if your name isn't Whitey Ford, you're really struggling on the mound. Bob Turley, 26, fastball at 94. How you doing, Big Dave? He is 9-6 on the replay, and he will have another start after this one. He'll win the Cy Young at 58. Fastball pitcher at 94, and a standard pitcher. Against Boston, this is only his 3rd start. 7 2/3, 9 innings, 11 runs. But he must have had me out there as a fielder, because of those 11 runs, only 2 are earned. He's walked 9 and struck out 5. 1-1 against Boston with a 2.35 ERA. Last pitched 3 weeks ago almost, on the 2nd of September, in an 18-4 shellacking of Washington. He went 8 innings, threw 150 pitches, 9 hits, 4 runs all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 7. 130 innings for Bullet Bob, 129 hits, 86 runs, 68 earned, 7 homers. He walked 90 and struck out 89. Playing a matchup from 84 is Paul. It's the crappy Twins and the crappy Rangers in front of 7,279 Viking fans wondering where the hell the football game is at the Metrodome. It took an hour and 54 minutes in real life. Red Sox lineup. Milt Bowling leads off at 3rd. Billy Klaus at short will bat 2nd. Ted Williams, who will play most of the rest of the season. Keep that in mind if the Red Sox can make a run of this last week. He'll bat 3rd. Mickey Vernon with the V cleans up at 1st. Jackie Jensen in right will bat 5th. Jimmy Pearsall in center goes 6th. So it looks like the Red Sox will go at least with some of their lineup the last week. Ted Lepsio and 2nd will bat 7th. Sammy White behind the plate goes 8th. Sullivan batting 9th. And Bob Turley, 7 innings or so of the 125 pitches on the mound for New York. Defensively for the Yankees, Andy Carey a 5 at 3rd. Gil McDougald a 6 and a 10 at short. Billy Martin a 6 and a 9 at 2nd. Bill Skowron a 6 at 1st. The outfield, Yogi Berra, who I think will be there the rest of the year, a 3 and a 7 in left. Mickey Mantle at 8 and a 9 in center, and Enos Slaughter, who already has a double in this game, a 4 and a 3 in right. Elson Howard a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. We will put Yogi behind the plate if the Yankees do go to the World Series. And Bob Turley is a 2 on the mound. Again, that's not a strat 2, so it's bad. And a .955 fielding percentage. Go Sox. Dome opened in 82. Steve? So, Bowling at 208, 2 homers, and 12 RBI. If the Yankees win, the lead will be 2.5 over Boston. If the Red Sox win, that will be Monday's stream, these two teams. There's a fly ball left field. Yogi, 1 out. So, yes, John, it's ESPN's wettest dream. The Yankees and the Sox potentially 6 times over the last 10 days of the season. Billy Klaus at 246, 7 homers and 61 RBI. Klaus into left center field. That's a base hit. So Berra cuts it off, throws it back in, and here's Ted Williams. Teddy having a non-Teddy year at 308, 21 homers and 78 RBI. Berra rests 3 times after today. That does not surprise me. Again, in real life, the Yankees were World Series prepping. Williams into right. Slaughter waits, makes the catch, 2 out. For Mickey Vernon hitting .273, 8 homers and 49 RBI. In the past, when we've done these, and you've had maybe a couple teams that were not contending in real life make it to this point, it's always interesting to give them a couple at bats when they went with the lineups that wouldn't necessarily be what you would do down the stretch, and sometimes it works. I mean, last year in '88, Kansas City and Minnesota, even when they did go off the board with some of their selections, remained competitive, and Oakland just couldn't gain any ground. Mickey Vernon hits a ground ball to first. Skowron takes it to the bag, and that will do. I forgot to give you Vernon's numbers, but he's now hitting .272. No runs. Hit. The Red Sox leave on a runner, and after one, 2-0 New York. So Skowron, Martin, and Carey to face Sullivan here in the second. My thought is, depending on, well, we'll see here. Remember, if we do get a playoff in the American League, it would be a one-game affair. And so let's just do this right now. If it is between these two teams, they would normally have flipped a coin. But if the Yankees win right now the Yankees have a 10-6 lead over Boston. They'll have 6 games to go. So chances are, if there is a playoff, the one game would be in New York, where the Yankees have beaten the Red Sox 5 out of the 8. Skowron at .295, 16 homers and 66 RBI. Base hit, left field. Williams cuts it off in the alley, and Skowron will hold with a single. So here's Billy Martin at .247, 8 homers and 48 RBI. Might be 2 here. Klaus. Only play is to first, and Martin is out. So Skowron moves to second, 1 out for Andy Carey at .263, 9 homers and 79 RBI. How you doing, Greg? Traditionally, they went with a coin flip, but we would do better record. And then if that was tied, if somehow they were 11-11, we would go with the teams that scored the most runs. Struck him out. Sullivan got him on a full count curve. Here's Turley at 190 and 2 RBI. It's 2 doubles on the year. How you doing, Bart? It seems kind of anticlimactic that the Yankees just kind of waited and waited. What was their real life record? I have a feeling that they won more than 90 by a healthy margin. Turley strikes out, and we're through an inning and a half. So Sully strikes out too. 1-2 fastball inside, got him looking. Yankees get a hit, they leave on a runner, and after an inning and a half, it's 2-0 New York. So Jensen, Pearsall, and Lepsio to face Turley here in the second. Jackie at .291, 25 homers and 109 RBI. How you doing, Mr. Hunter? Struck him out. First K for Turley. A 1-2 fastball got him looking. The Yankees went 97 and 57. So they can best they can do is 93 wins. Pearsall is short. McDougal, long throw to Skowron. Jimmy running, and he's out on a bang-banger, 2 out. For Lepsio at .246, 11 homers and 37, or 36 because I can read RBI, 97. So I don't think the Yankees can't get there. So anyone want to take a stab at who holds the Retro Sports Network single-season home run record? I was surprised when I looked that one up. And the Red Sox need 1 win to match their real-life number. They won 84 and 70. In real life, they're 83 and 63. Struck him out, 2 for Turley, and that will do. A full count breaking ball in there at the knees, and the Red Sox just shake their head. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to third here at Fenway. Yankees 2, Red Sox nothing. It is not Ted Williams. Gil McDougald is struck out his first time up. Sully, 38 for his opening 9, 2 innings, 3 hits, and 3 strikeouts. It is not Mike Schmidt. But Greg has... Nope, it's not Gorman Thomas. Greg has the right team. Got him. That's 4 for Sully. A 1-2 off-speed pitch. Got him swinging. And that'll bring up Enos Slaughter, who doubled and scored in the first. Jim Rice is the right answer. Joe Charbonneau. We didn't do his season yet. I was looking this up for a piece I wrote for Jamie Marshall, because we did 78 during the COVID year. Rice hit 58 in 78 and drove in 178 runs. But the Yankees won that division comfortably. Slaughter. There's a slow chopper down to Vernon. Over to Sully, and Vernon makes a great play to get the out. So 2 out. Bantle is over 50 home runs. I mean, if Mickey can hit 8 between now and... Well, I think Mickey's pretty much done, so he would need to have a hell of a next 2 days. Jim Rice was my all-time favorite player. Greg and OOTP had Mays hit 65 and 54. You imagine what Mays' real-life total would have been if he hadn't lost his prime years playing at Candlestick? Mickey swings. There is a bounder past Lepsio into right field, and Mickey has a single. So Mantle is 2 for 2. Yogi Berra has an RBI and is 0 for 1. He's now driven in 111 RBI. And I believe Berra gets hit. Yeah, that is astronomical. So first and second for Howard, who's 0 for 1. Gorman had good years. But Kiner had over 50 home runs, and we did 49. Mantle and Snyder, I believe, have done that, and then this time around. And Bonds might have broken 50, but he certainly didn't hit 73. Third place. They never contended. Ellie up the box. Sullivan goes to Vernon, and Howard is retired. And that will do it for the Yankees in the third. No runs, a hit. They leave on 2. Bottom 3 here at Fenway. 2-0 New York. Yeah, Ben Ogilvy also had some good years with the Tigers. Sammy White at 239, 5 homers and 63 RBI. Steve read an interesting book about Willie Mays. He and Jackie Robinson did get along well. Mays shied away. Yeah, I think Mickey wanted to be Willie wanted to be a crowd pleaser. White K's an 0-2 breaking ball, got him looking. So Turley has fanned 3. Sullivan at 134. Frank is driven in 6. Todd B says in his Slice League that Rice is 36 homers, 3/4 of the way through. It's the 78 for the 78 Sox. That's about right. Sullivan, right field. Slaughter will make the catch. 2 out. Bowling 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Turley. 33 pitches, 2 2/3, a hit, and 3 strikeouts. Still has a shot at 50. Willie, I mean, yeah, Willie could have. in today's environment, with his speed and his perception, he could have played any sport that he wanted to and been great. Bowling draws the walk, so a 2-out base runner for Billy Klaus, who singled his first time up. First walk for Turley. Todd B's stats for the league are surprisingly close to real life. It does a good job with that. Pitch to Klaus. Center field, Mantle makes the catch, and that will do. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the fourth. Yankees 2, Red Sox nothing. So Skowron, Martin, and Carey to face Sully here in the fourth. Skowron 1 for 1. That's well hit left field. Williams will turn and watch it go. 3-0 New York. How about that? 17th of the year for Skowron. And the Red Sox are watching Cinderella's slipper go to Casey Stengel. Joe DiMaggio was Willie Mays' favorite player as a kid. The Giants were Vin Scully's team growing up. You're doing what, Todd? 77, 81 in your league? When Willie hit 65, it was late in the year. He had 58 when he had back-to-back 3-run home run games. Wow. They're not booing. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Martin 0 for 1. 77, 83. That is really just kind of a very stable era in baseball, I think, stat-wise. So it doesn't surprise me that they would kind of be within the ballpark. Pitch to Martin is up the middle in the center field, and Pearsall throws it back in. I'm booing too, but not out loud. That would be rude. Eddie Carey struck out his first time up. That's a base hit. Yeah, Sullivan's due all right. All the way to the wall, and the Yankees are making a statement here. Bob Turley, nobody out, struck out his first time up. To short. Klaus concedes the run to get the out, and it's 4-0 New York. Only weird thing, Gene Tennis is 13 triples for the 78 Pods, leads the league. There's going to be outliers and everything. How many do you have in real life? 1 out. Sullivan needs a diaper change here. 76 pitches, 3 1/3 innings, 18 batters, 7 hits, the home run to Skowron, and he struck out 4. Like 4 or 5. Can happen. Base hit. Carey scores. It's 5-0. Who we got? I think we're going to go with Mel Parnell. So the Red Sox will go with Parnell. He's got one more start left, but that will be next week. 34 years old, 6-9 on the replay. Parnell, the hero of 1949 and a longtime guy on television for Boston. 6-9 on the replay, a 4.09 ERA. Fastball, a Bugs Bunny 82, and a ground ball pitcher. When did he last go? The 14th. So he's on a full week's rest. No decision in a 2-1 loss to Cleveland. 9 innings, 140 pitches, 5 hits. It was a solo home run. He walked 7 and struck out 7. 138 2/3, 148 hits, 74 runs, 63 earned. 8 home runs allowed. He's walked 71 and struck out 53. The Justy Parnell? Yes. So 5-0, 1 out for Slaughter as a double and a run scored. He's 1 for 2. There is a ground ball to Lepsio. Klaus is the only play they're going to get, but Lepsio robs him of a hit. So 2 out for Mickey Mantle. 2 for 2, a single, a triple. He drove in his 133rd run and scored 1. Fly ball, right center. Pearsall going back. Makes the catch. Makes a fantastic catch against the wall. To end the inning, we have played 3.5, and that was a huge inning for the Yankees. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. After 3.5, 5-0 New York. And so here we are. The Yankees a game and a half up on Boston, 2 up on Detroit. Cleveland and Chicago theoretically still in the picture. But they're going to need some help from the Red Sox and the Tigers. The Dodgers might be the biggest margin we've ever had. The winningest team I could find in the 7 years that we've done this was actually the 2001 Mariners. They won 110. This is the 3rd time in 7 years the Dodgers have topped 100 wins. This might not even be the best Dodger team that we've had so far. Williams is 0 for 1. Williams, Vernon, and Jensen here in the 4th. Fly ball, right field. Slaughter. 1 out. For Mickey Vernon, hitting .272, 8 homers and 49 RBI, 0 for 1 today. Dwayne Martz is doing the Reds. Go watch Dwayne. Vernon rips this one into right center field. That's going to be an extra base hit. So Vernon has a double. His 27th of the year and just the 2nd hit for Boston. Jackie Jensen struck out his first time up. Center field. Back goes Mickey. Makes the catch. Vernon will hold with 2 out. Nurse Britt's watching this game, by the way. Jimmy Pearsall's 0 for 1. There's a slow ground ball to Scourin. He'll flip it to Turley, and Pearsall is retired. Thank you. Dwayne does a lot of good stuff, but I don't think many people are watching his stuff live, so... Anyway, Red Sox got a hit. Left a runner on. We go to the 5th. Yankees 5, Boston nothing. So Berra, Howard, and Scourin to face Parnell here in the 5th. What year is Dwayne doing? Is he doing just the Reds games? Yogi, by the way, 0 for 1 and drove in his 111th. Bart has gone to the package store and bought his Valentine and his champagne. Won't be open today, but he's ready for it. Pitch to Berra. Fly ball, right center field. Back goes Jensen. Jackie to the wall, and that's off the wall. So Yogi has a double. His 33rd of the year. Looks like a game from 98. Okay. So here's Ellie Howard. Ellie 0 for 2. If the Yankees have this wrapped up essentially by Monday, they will just do one more regular season thing and then get right to the World Series, which will start in Brooklyn. Got away from White on the wild pitch, and Barrow moves on to 3rd. If the Red Sox, Tigers, Indians, or White Sox can keep it close, then we'll keep doing games. Dwayne has all-star teams of players from 61 on. Okay, so it's the greatest hits. All right, cool beans. Howard with a 2-ball count. And he walks. I will give the Red Sox a lot of credit for making it this far. They weren't a bad team. White says something, but the count was 3 balls and no strikes, and you're up and you're down 5 runs. You're not going to get a lot of calls. Skowron, homered his last time up, also has a single. Yeah, I think that will do that. That's going to happen. So it'll be the 7 champions plus the 88 Sox, and we'll do a blind draw to seed them. So we're not going to give anyone a huge advantage. That was such a great idea, Todd. Thank you so much. Berra and Howard, the runners. Nobody out. Parnell deals to Skowron. That's in the right center field. Jensen coming in. Rides the Schwinn. Makes the catch. Is that too shallow for Yogi? It is. And so there's 1 out for Billy Martin, who has singled and scored. 1 for 2. Appa bats. Okay. I knew that. So Parnell trying to hang in there and keep the door closed after the Yankees have a 5 spot here on the board. There is a ground ball to Parnell. Only play is to Vernon, and Martin is retired. 2 out for Andy Carey. Ellie moves up to second. Carey has a double and a run scored. So second and third, 2 out. Yeah, I think with that, because the pitching grades in APA can be so dominant, you got to hit extra base hits. Carey, it's a ground ball to third. Bowling over to V. Vernon with a V, and that will do. Halfway home on a Thursday. It is the Yankees 5, the Red Sox nothing. We'll be back in a moment. If you joined us late, the Yankees are in pretty good shape. They're beating the Red Sox 5-0. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for New York. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Boston. They play 6 times over the last 9 days of the season. Yankees got 2 in the first. Enos Slaughter has found the fountain of youth. He has a 10-game hitting streak. Mickey Mantle tripled him in to make it 1-0, and then Yogi Berra with a fielder's choice to score Mantle. In the fourth, Bill Skowron, favorite of Mr. DeMarco, hits one into the screen in left to make it 3-0. Bob Turley, a fielder's choice, to make it 4-0, and Gil McDougald scored Andy Carey to make it 5-0. Frank Sullivan, 3 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned a homer, and 4 strikeouts. Mel Parnell just going to be eating some innings, trying to keep it close. Bob Turley, a 2-hitter through 4, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Yanks lead is a 1.5 coming in. Red Sox, I would think, would need 4 out of the 6. So it's 3 this weekend in Boston and 3 next weekend in New York. Lepsio struck out his first time up. The original franchise All-Stars? Yeah. And every time Parallel League hears APA, he thinks of ABBA. There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright, Fernando. They were shining for you and me. For Dodger dogs and sombreros. There you go. Lepsio in the left field. Berra going back. 1 out. Someone was playing APA football last night and having a good old time with it. Sammy White struck out his first time up. You've got Dancing Queen stuck in your head? Dancing Queen, young and sweet, only 17, which is the fine age of a smooth oak lined barrel of cognac that you can go and buy at your neighborhood Ralph's. No, not that one. White swings, left center, Mantle, long run, makes the catch. 2 out for Parnell, who will bat here. I need him to pitch. Bell at 2:08 with an RBI. Struck him out. Turley is fan 4. We go to the 6th. Yankees 5. Red Sox nothing. So Turley giving the Yankees what they need. He is 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded into a fielder's choice. Turley into right. Jensen will make the catch. 1 out. Gil McDougald 1 for 3. He has singled, struck out twice, and driven in a run. Parnell has given up 1 hit and a walk in his 2 innings of relief. The 85 Browns team ran. Yes. And that was the year that Theismann got his leg broken on Monday Night Football, which is why Schrader has so many pass attempts. There is a ground ball past Klaus in the center field. True story. My bedroom was next to the living room that particular year, and so I heard Theismann's leg got broken. I hadn't quite gone to sleep yet. They knew I was listening from the other room. I asked to get up to see the replay, and they wouldn't let me do it. Which, 30-some-odd years later, curiosity got the better of me, and the clip popped up on YouTube. And I gotta say that as a 13-year-old kid, I'm glad they did not get me up to see Lawrence Taylor break Joe Theismann's leg. Slaughter, speaking of which, 1 for 3. The Sergeant has a double and a run scored. Parnell deals. There's a pop-up into center. Pearsall will grab it, and McDougald goes back to first. Since we're talking about drinking, did you know that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers got their name from Oh, really? Black Boo? Steve, you get... Okay, Todd B., you crown him. King me. My parents did make a snap decision. Yep, don't get up to watch that. Never mind the fact that I had a TV in my room with cable that I could have easily turned on and put the game on. But I was such a goody two-shoes, I never thought to do that. Mantle 2 for 3. He's got a triple, an RBI, and a run scored. Yeah, John, that was tough. That was a tough. I never was a huge Theismann fan. Mantle into left center. Williams can't get there. McDougald on his way to third. Ted uncorks a throw, and McDougald's safe. So 2 out here in the 6th. For Yogi Berra, Yogi 1 for 2, a double and an RBI, his 111th. And Yogi draws the walk. Bases loaded, 2 out, 5-0 Yankees. For Elston Howard, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Ellie draws the bases loaded walk. McDougald will score at 6-0. Remind me to send a nasty grin to Mr. Cook. Dear Mr. Cook, why is it my Red Sox never play well when I actually play them? Certainly couldn't be because of my excellent managerial skills. Bill Skowron homered in this one. 2 for 3. Never thought we'd ever see something like that. Oh, yeah. Tim Crumry, the first play from scrimmage in the Super Bowl. And it certainly didn't help that Stanford Jennings got busted for soliciting a prostitute and buying coke the morning of that game in Miami. But yet, Joe Montana had to pull that one out of the fire by the time that we got to the end of it. Bill Skowron swings, fly ball, right field. Jensen should be able to get there and staunch the damage with just a run on 2 hits and no errors. Yankees have left on 9. It's looking bleak here in Boston. Yankees 6, Red Sox nothing. Yes, that is absolutely true. That Joe Theismann changed how his pronounced his last name to rhyme with Heisman his senior year in New York. It was Joe Theismann. But because of 1970, he was a contender for the Heisman, and so they changed it. This was back in the day and age where you got 1 game a year on television, so that would get stuck in the voters' mind, Theismann for Heisman. Milt Bowling is 0 for 1 with a walk. Turley, 18 batters, 70 pitches, 5 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Absolutely true, Steve. If Joe had only played in 1 league, he might have made more of an impact. How long was he in the CFL? But in saying that he was 1 play away from winning a Grey Cup and did win a Super Bowl. He sat as an intern for a long, long time. When did he finally become a starter? 77 with Washington? To beat out Billy Kilmer and Sonny Jurgensen. Pitch to Bowling, and Milt draws the walk. So Bowling on first, Klaus 1 for 2. Billy has himself a single. Howard and Turley have a word. Klaus rips 1 to Martin. Should be 2. McDougald for 1. They throw to first, and Klaus grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. So 2 out for Ted Williams, who is 0 for 2. And Williams draws the walk. It is a sullen crowd here at Fenway. Mickey Vernon has a double, 1 for 2 today. Again, game 147 for Boston. 2.5 with 7 to go is a lot. 3 years, okay. They didn't play him because he didn't sign the NFL to begin with, to make an example out of him. Yeah, those teams, they came close in 79. I don't really remember much of that. It was kind of overshadowed by the Cinderella Bucks. But the end of Staubach's last regular season game, the end of that is on YouTube from the Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire broadcast. And the Redskins were showing themselves, but in 80, the Eagles surprised everybody and went to the Super Bowl. Now, when was Gibbs first year, 80 or 81? Pitch to Vernon, walked. So the Red Sox may have finally found a hole in Turley's armor here. 2 out, 2 on for Jackie Jensen, who's 0 for 2 in the strikeout. Theismann was drafted by the Dolphins and didn't sign, and Shula never forgave him. I did not know that. There is a ground ball pass, to Skowron, who stabs it, takes it to the bag, and the Red Sox get nothing. No runs. The walks do not hurt. No errors. We go to the 7th here at Fenway. Yankees 6, Red Sox nothing. So Martin, Carey, and Turley to face Parnell here in the 7th. Billy 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. Kilmer, I think, was kind of an everyman, Dave. You know, Kilmer and Jurgensen, single bar face mask, a little bit of a pot belly. I think people could relate to him. It was kind of hard for people to relate to someone like Joe Montana, for instance. I mean, Roger Staubach was the boy that every dad wanted their son to be. Meanwhile, in that era, you could go with Joe Namath being the one that every boy wanted to be. Pitch to Martin. Billy swings left field. Williams will make the catch for the out. I saw an interesting video the other day. Andy Carey 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. On how San Francisco's trade for O.J. Simpson was the impetus for their dynasty. It was a very good video. Carey 1 for 3 with a double. Hard shot to third. Bowling throws it over to Vernon. Stretch time here at... Nope, 2 out. For Turley, almost stretch time. 0 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout today. Dave got punished for not being Staubach. Yeah, I can see Schul holding the grudge, too. Thanks, Jim. He was a good coach. And again, you know, you got Johnny Unitas and Danny Marino. I mean, those are 2 pretty good quarterbacks. He was offered $25,000 a year from Miami with a $10,000 bonus. He signed Toronto for over $100,000 when the Canadian dollar is worth more than the American dollar. Were they not happy with Greasy? I mean, why would you draft Theismann when you had Bob Greasy? And you had Shula's old standby, Earl Morrall, who pretty much got them a Super Bowl in '72. Pitch to Turley. Struck him out. We'll get to that story in a moment. Stretch time, 6-0 New York. Pearsall, Lepsio, and White here in the 7th to face Turley. 6-0 New York. Jimmy 0 for 2. So the gist of how O.J. Simpson led to the dynasty in San Francisco was this. San Francisco hired a GM that you either loved or hated, and he sent 5 draft picks to Buffalo for O.J. Simpson, who said he's only going to play 1 more year. Simpson's numbers in San Francisco weren't horrible. They weren't O.J. numbers, but they weren't Butch Wolfolk numbers either. And so after the 78 season, they fired said GM and brought in Bill Walsh, who tried to trade up to get... Oh, the 49ers would have had the first pick in the 79 draft. But Buffalo had it. It was one of the members of this O.J. Simpson trade. And Buffalo drafted Tom Cousineau, who went to Canada and never played for the Bills. Pearsall 0 for 2. Pitch to Jimmy. Ground ball to McDougal. Gill has to make a long throw. Pearsall running, and he beat it out on the bang-banger. Only the 3rd hit for the Red Sox. Here's Lepsio. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So Walsh is making the rounds for that 79 draft, and he somehow ends up watching a film of a kid from Morehead State by the name of Phil Simms. And so Walsh tells Phil Simms that if they get the chance, they're going to draft Phil Simms. Pitch to Lepsio. Struck him out. That's 5 for Turley. He chased a 1-2 fastball. 1 out for White. 0 for 2 with a K. The Giants, who just hired a real GM going into that 79 season, and George Adams, draft Simms 7th overall. So that pick is off the board. I don't think the 49ers had a pick to the 3rd round. And so there was an animated argument in the 49ers war room about who to take for a quarterback. They had Steve DeBerg, who wasn't bad. And they talk Bill Walsh into taking some scrub from Notre Dame, because Notre Dame quarterbacks had not translated well into the NFL. Theismann would become the exception to that, but he was the rule at that point. Some guy by the name of Montana, never heard of him before. Pitch to White. Sammy strikes out. Turley throwing a gem, by the way. 2 out for Parnell. Oh, do I suppose I gotta. Who are we pinch hitting? Who can hit her right? Oh, this is easy. Going to be Billy Goodwin. Goodman is a pinch hitter, 600 and home run and 2 RBI. I would not be surprised. Oh, what did you retract, Greg? I'm kind of curious about that. Staubach got sacked at a Cowboys game, and he was dazed and asking, did Army beat us? That wouldn't surprise me. You got hit hard. Goodman swings, ground ball to Martin. Over to Scourin, and Goodman's retired. Pearsall moves, well, that'll do. So we go to the 8th. Yankees 6, Red Sox nothing. So we're going to go with Frank Baumann. Baumann, 0-2, a 4.78 ERA. 18th appearance, 23 years old for the Jaw. The Bo. Of course he is. Fastball at 90, fly ball pitcher. The Bo last pitched on the 15th, so 6 days ago. I think we did that. A 9-out save and a 3-0 shutout over Cleveland. 51 pitches, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Overall, Baumann 26 1/3, 29 hits, 17 runs, 14 earned, 3 homers. He has walked 23 and struck out 17. McDougald, Slaughter, and Mantle here in the 8th. Theismann, Montana, and Clements were all very good. But again, at the time, Notre Dame was not a quarterback factory. The West Coast offense, they run that today too. Cousineau was better in Cleveland than he was in Montreal. Yeah. Buffalo did get Joe Cribbs out of that too deal, I believe. But I just loved, every once in a while you'll see one of those what if videos. And that was one of them. It's just stuff you don't think about. McDougald, by the way, 2 for 4. He singled twice, driven in a run, and scored. Struck out twice. Baumann's pitch popped up. Right side, Lepsio has it for the out. So Monday, we will see what we're doing here. Wind's now blowing out to right center. That Buck printing sign at 24. Slaughter 1 for 4, a double and a run scored. You can't underestimate just how important this win will be for the Yankees, especially if the Tigers lose. Right center, Pearsall, 2 out. For Mickey Mantle, 3 for 4, triple, RBI, run scored. Struck him out, so the Yankees go in order. Turley throwing a 3-hit shutout. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees 6, Red Sox nothing. So Turley 27 batters deep, 118 pitches, 7 innings, 3 hits, 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. Bowling has walked twice. 0 for 1. Turley deals, struck him out. That's 7 for Bob, a full count fastball. For Billy Klaus, 1 for 3. He has singled and grounded into a double play. And Klaus draws the walk. Not what you want with Ted Williams coming up. Teddy is 0 for 2 with a walk. If everything is clinched, you should play a couple of really bad teams. I think Baltimore was the last team we hadn't seen yet. What we might do, we'll see. Get through the next few days, and then we'll see what we're going to do. Pitch to Williams, draws the walk. So Turley has reached his pitch count. The thing is, here's the Yankees' Achilles heel. Mickey Vernon, by the way, 1 for 2, a double and a walk. The Yankees' bullpen is bad. I don't know how they string together 4 wins if they do win the American League against Brooklyn. Especially because you're probably going to get Newcomb 3 times. Vernon, right field, Slaughter. Long drive, Enos going back, but he should make the catch. He does. And that's an out. Klaus will tag and hold with 2 out. Bad baseball. Bring it on. There was a guy years ago, John said, whose channel John stumbled across that would do a trade tree for hockey. Is that the hockey guy? And show how each and every team was historically affected by a single trade. That is fascinating. Yep. There was a video, I sent this to Dave a while ago. Someone who did an hour on the history of the neutral zone trap and how it came to be. You want to know who pretty much came up with the neutral zone trap? Jackie Jensen's 0 for 3 with the strikeout. Turley deals. Jensen into right center. Slaughter going back. That is well hit. And remember, the wind is blowing way out. Slaughter makes the catch against the wall. Oh, my goodness. The Red Sox have left on 8. No runs, no hits, no errors. Turley has only allowed 3 hits. We go to the 9th. Yankees 6, Red Sox nothing. Yep, the Marcel Dion trade was not good for your Red Wings. I can't believe that speaking of Detroit, that they're finally getting around to retiring Sergei Fedorov's number. Yogi Berra 1 for 2. He has walked, doubled, and driven in a run. Opposite way, Williams, 1 out. For Elson Howard, 0 for 2. He's walked twice and driven in a run. That is a high ground ball to second. Lipsy over to Vernon, 2 out. For Skowron, Bill had the home run, the dagger here. Hit his 17th of the year in the process. To Klaus, over to Vernon, and the Yankees' day is pretty much done. So, Tommy Byrne will come in to pitch the 9th and hold the shutout. Yankees 6, Red Sox nothing. So Byrne, I will keep an eye on that. Yeah, I guess he would be the closer of choice. 37 years old, fastball at 84. 31st appearance, 8-1 with a 2.09 ERA. With a 75 pitch count, I could bring him in for, if they do win the American League, to get 9 outs in a World Series game. Burns' last appearance was 5 days ago against Cleveland. He faced 1 batter and got him on 2 pitches. 90 in a third innings, 73 hits, 25 runs, 21 earned, 5 homers, 37 walks, and 48 strikeouts. Red Sox need 6 to tie, 7 to win. Pearsall 1 for 3 today. That is a base hit into center field. So Jimmy goes 2 for 4. Here's Lepsio, is 0 for 3. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors for New York. They've left on 9. Red Sox, no runs, 4 hits, no errors, and they have left on 8. And it seems like the gulf between these two teams is more than a game and a half. Lepsio into left field. Yogi, 1 out. Sammy White, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Got him. So last chance saloon. Byrne got him on an 0-2. And White strikes out for the 3rd time today. So who will face Tommy Byrne? And the answer to that is going to be Gene Stevens. Stevens as a pinch hitter. 275, a home run, and 6 RBI. Some reverse splits here. 286 overall, a home run, and 9 RBI. But it is last chance saloon. Burns pitch. Walked him. So that will bring up Milt Bowling, who's 0 for 2 today. However, he has walked twice and struck out once. You are seeing the Yankee problem right here. And if you're a Dodger fan, you gotta be loving this. Got him, and the ball game is over. Oh, my word. A 4-hit team shutout. The Red Sox end up leaving on 10. 3 hours and 18 fake minutes for this one. The Yankees 6 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. They left on 9. They go to 85 and 61. The Red Sox 83 and 64 are 4 hit. They leave on 10, and Bob Turley is going to be your digital dice MVP. 8 innings, 3 hits. He walked 6 and struck out 7. Frank Sullivan, in a game where he really, really needed to give the Red Sox everything in a bag of chips, got you a bag of Lays instead. 3 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned. The home run to Skowron, and struck out 4. Parnell and Bowman, 5 2/3 of 3 hit, 3 walk, 1 run relief. So the Yankees' magic number is now 7. And they hold a 2.5 game lead over everybody. Let's play Friday night, shall we? Milwaukee beats Chicago 3-2. Aaron drives in his 100th run. Murph, that's his name, MURFF 2-0. Valentiniti goes to 2-3. Joe Adcock 1 for 3, hits his 33rd and drives in 2. Gus Triandos, 2 homers, drives in 5. They beat Washington, does Baltimore 8-4. White 8-9. Camilo Pascual falls to 6-20. St. Louis beats Cincinnati 3-0. McDaniel 3-7. Nuxie goes to 12-8. Del Greco kicks a field goal, goes 2 for 4, hits a 6 and drives in 2. Giants beat the Phillies 10-3. Johnny Antonelli 17-12. Farrell 0-1. Bowman 2 for 4, hits a 2nd and drives in 2. Doubleheader. The White Sox stay theoretically alive. They sweep Kansas City 8-2 in the first one. Harshman goes to 15-9. Cox falls to 0-2. DeMaestri 2 for 3, hits a 7th with a double. And the nightcap, Donovan beats Art Ditmar 7-2. And Nellie Fox 2 for 2 with a triple. The Detroit Tigers beat the Indians 4-3 in 11. Moss over Houdeman, and Frank Bowling 3 for 5 with a double. The Dodgers beat the Pirates 9-1. Sal Magley 14-7. Klein 10-20. And Hodges 2 for 4. It's his 26. The Lays are Canadian chips. So, let's see. We're going to do a doubleheader on Monday because it may be the end of the season. Cleveland, Detroit first. Herb Score versus Paul Foytak. And then the Yankees and the Red Sox. So 11:30 Eastern for a pennant special doubleheader. And then at this point, we're just kind of day by day. I think the only team we haven't put on is Pittsburgh. So who do they play it down the stretch? You could see Pittsburgh and Brooklyn that last weekend, depending. So the good news is, if you're a Yankee fan, look who goes the last day of the year for the Dodgers. Don Newcomb. So doubleheader on Monday. Cleveland, Detroit, Yankees, Red Sox. We'll see you then for that. Thank you so much. So long, everybody.